Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the RacingBet preview, looking at our best bets for Saturday, the 3rd of July at Flemington in Melbourne and Rosehill in Sydney. We're back to the Melbourne-Sydney double after the Queensland Racing Carnival has wrapped up. I'm your host, Tim Geers, joined by Trent Crebbin. This episode is brought to you by betdeluxe.com.au, serious betting for serious punters. Trent, how's your week been? Looking forward to another card at Flemington on the weekend.
Yeah, it's not been too bad. Couple of winners here and there in the midweeks. Yeah, looking forward to finals day at Flemington. I think there's a couple of really good bets. Keen to see the end of some of these series, though, to be honest. I'm getting a bit sick of the same horses going around against each other. But yeah, we'll get through finals day and then we'll start looking forward to the early spring races, I guess. It all comes around fast here.
Yeah, as I said last week, I think for the next 3 or 4 weeks, you're probably going to have to get used to these horses just coming up against each other week in, week out while we wait for the new racing season, of course, which kicks off at the start of August. But until then, I think we're going to have a few dull weeks where we just kind of have to grind through before some of the good horses start returning. Hey, speaking about midweek winners, bloody hell, how good was the last at Belmont on Wednesday?
Yes, that was fantastic. I forget the horse's name, but got back to last. I was cursing there. Got a huge drift out to $13, $14, I think, late for your best of the day, and sprouted wings. That was enormous, and yeah, great way to win the Wednesday.
Pissed in. Hey, this is Miss Maranta we're talking about. If you haven't watched the replay of the last at Belmont on Wednesday, or just go to my Twitter, I'm sure you'll find it. I was with you. I'm sitting there at like 200, like, oh, what is going on here? And 2 seconds later, you're just on the couch riding at home. It was a very, very good way to end Wednesday, and hopefully we can carry that into Saturday. Track pattern, track rating at Flemington, currently a soft 5, and over in Sydney, surprise, surprise, we're on a heavy 9. How do you kind of expect it to play there on Saturday?
Yeah, it should be fine. Flemington generally very fair, rail true. Can't imagine it'll be anything other than, tempo related for most races. Track soft 5 probably stays around that range. There's a few showers forecast, but Flemington generally holds up. So just a nice bit of give in the track, and yeah, all horses should get their chance.
All right, we'll do what we did last week, best bets together and then our best value bets together. We'll kick off with you at Flemington, Trent, and you are with this horse who is just on a roll since arriving in Australia. Your best bet of the day comes up in race number 6. This is the Winter Championship final over a mile. You're with horse number 2, Dice Roll. Currently $1.90 across the board, and you have made this a 5-unit max bet. The last time we threw up a 5-unit max bet on this show, it was Ayrton in Brisbane and it won well. Can this horse do the same thing?
Yeah, look, I really think he should be winning here, Dice Roll. He's unbeaten in Australia. He's had, I think, 3 starts, 3 wins here. It was 7 weeks between runs going into last start at Flemington over 1,400 metres. Was given a lovely ride by Fred Kersley. And I just loved his last kind of 200, even 100 metres there and through the line. His last 200 metres was the fastest of the day. It was quite a few lengths faster than the second best horse in the race. Off that, he's going to eat up 1,600 metres. Nick Ryan's very confident as well that he's looking for 1,600 metres now. He's got that run under the belt. Maps to get another lovely run for Fred Kersley again, who's riding him very well, knows this horse back and forth. I just think he's going to be too good for them here again, and he looks like a horse that's really going to go on and be a big player in some of those. I think maybe a Tourette handicap at Group 1 kind of level in the spring is flagged as a potential race for him, and I think he'll win this pretty comfortably and go on to be a big player in some of those spring features.
Yeah, there's no real knocks. Hey, like even soft ground last start, running a soft 7, as you said, finished off fastest final 400 of the meeting. There's no real knocks on this horse. With any luck, he really does look the winner. That's Trent's best bet of the day. Race 6, number 2, Dice Roll in the Winter Championship final, a 5-unit max bet. My best bet at Rosehill is not quite a 5-unit max bet, but I do think it'll be awfully hard to beat. And similar to yours, Trent, this thing just keeps on winning. This is race 3, number 2, and it's called No Compromise for Chris Waller and Tommy Berry. He's a 4-year-old gelding who's come across from New Zealand. He's had 3 starts in Australia. Each one has been terrific. I think on his Australian debut 3 starts ago, drew wide for the apprentice, came from last and finished off really well behind Achiever and Lakeen over 2,000. Then stepped up to 2,400 metres, won really well. Dropped back to 2,000 last start, which was somewhat of a query, but overcame that once again, finished off hard to make it 2 straight wins and gets back up to 2,400 metres here, which Looked really suitable for him. As I said, he won over this distance 2 starts ago. The horse he beat on that occasion was Stockman. Stockman then came out and placed behind the horse that won the Brisbane Cup by about 6 lengths, I think it was. Knight's Order, I think, Gaybot. And then Stockman came out last start and won easily. I think he's favourite for the Sunshine Coast Cup or something like that on the weekend. So the form all looks good. As I said, back up to 2,400 metres, wet ground, no query. The only little query I have is that it's gone from 54 kilos to 57 kilos and now up to 60 kilos. So that will be the query, whether it can do it again with the increased weight, but comes into barrier 5, which looks a good draw. We might even see it ridden a touch closer midfield, hopefully. A couple of other chances in the race. Well, we've got the horse Admit It down the bottom. Race horse number 9, disqualified last start for Wayne in Light. Undefeated on heavy ground and gets in with 51 kilos after the 3 kilo claim. So it's going to be a danger. And I thought the horse up the top approached Discreet. If you could forgive its last run, I thought it'd be really competitive in this race. Trent, you got any thoughts on No Compromise there?
Not really, to be honest. One of those Sydney staying races, I guess, with the horse in form, and look, that's probably the best starting point. And yeah, probably come with you there.
Yeah, I can't wait till it loses, and then I have to get out the Bart Simpson graphic of the lines on the chalkboard saying, I will never bet in Sydney staying races. Every single time I bet in these staying races and I think I'm confident, I always lose. So I suppose take that best bet with a grain of salt. But yeah, look, if it runs up to what it's been doing, it should be winning this, you would think. All right, let's get into our best value bets. Back over to Flemington for you. Your best value bets come up in race number 8. You're playing 2 horses here. The first is horse number 4, Banquo, which is $6. The second is horse number 13, Loanna Magic, currently $41. Take us through your thoughts.
Yeah, so I'll start with Banquo here. He comes through the main lead up at Flemington over 1,100 metres. I thought he ran really well there. He kind of probably not in the best ground there, back to the inside. And I think the key thing to note with this horse is he generally improves quite a bit with a run under his belt. I think he's had 5 starts first up and he's never won. And then second up, he's had 4 starts for 3 top 2 finishes, including last preparation where he was finished 7th first up and then second up at this track and distance in the Group 2 Bobby Lewis. He split Zatori and Tofane. That's clearly very good form, both Group 1 winners since. So I think if he runs up to that kind of race, he's drawn out wide here. Damien Lane sticks, gets him better at the weights. I think he's probably the horse to beat, and $6 looks a good price. And then I could definitely have something on 13, Loanna Magic. Kind of doesn't really have the form of some of these, but I think he's just a horse on the up here. And I really liked his run last start at Swan Hill. Obviously, that's in lower grade, but he got back in the race there, and he really charged the line in some pretty strong late sectionals. I think he's a horse that's really going to suit straight track racing. Gets down in the weights here, and like I said, he's only just a lightly raced horse with 7 starts, and I think he will eventually probably make it to this sort of listed grade. Whether this is just a bit too soon, but I thought $41 was definitely a price to find out. So I'm happy to have something on Loanna Magic as well as Banquo.
That's race number 8 at Flemington. And while we're speaking about race 8 at Flemington, head over to the RacingBet Twitter account and enter the competition for your chance to win one of these sweet hats. It's nearest the pin. All you got to do is tip the winner and the margin, and the closest winning prediction will earn themselves something for their noggin, which we'll send out to you. So head over to the RacingBet Twitter page. It's free to enter. Just throw in your comment there with your tip and winning margin for race number 8 at Flemington. All right, move back over to Rosehill for my best value bet of the day, and I'm playing one at big odds here as well. This is race number 5 on the card, the first of these new midway races they've introduced to the Sydney Metro cards. I'm keen on a horse here, number 7, Wanda. It's currently a $34 chance. I will preface it by saying I'm not sure if the horse is good enough at this class, but we're going to find out. His first up record is very good. He's had 2 good trials leading into this. And from his first up record, he's had 5 starts for 2 wins and 2 second placings. So 4 out of his 5 starts when fresh from a spell, he's finished in the top 2. He's also had 5 starts on heavy ground for 2 wins and 2 second placings as well. So identical to that record from his first up run. So clearly he likes the wet ground. Clearly he goes very well fresh. He's got a little bit of a tricky draw here in barrier 12. But as I said, I thought he trialled well enough and he gets conditions to suit here. So $34 was over the odds to my eye. Probably going to be saving on this favourite, number 9, Our Bellagio Miss at $3.60. Ran really well first up. It started $5 on that occasion. Sat 3 wide the trip, was only beaten 2 lengths behind the likes of Malkovich and Hulk. I think Malkovich, didn't he go to Melbourne last week and win, Trent? Or is that a different horse I'm thinking of?
No, yeah, it did. Yeah, 1,000-metre horse. Given a good ride. Yeah, he's a nice horse.
Yeah, so the form looks relatively good there. Looks the horse to beat, you would think, and he's a dead set wet tracker as well. He's had 4 career wins and they've all come on wet ground, so it looks well placed there. But yeah, I thought the $34 for Wonder, first up from a spell on heavy ground, looked a good enough price for me. So that's my best value bet of the day. Okay, any other thoughts, Trent?
I think that probably wraps us up. Outlaying quite a few units at Flemington again, so yeah, make sure you jump up. My preview's already up there on racingbet.com.au, and we'll be hoping to get the chocolates there.
Yep, so Flemington, Rosehill and Belmont covered this weekend on RacingBet. Belmont Oaks Day over here in the west. A few good races to get our teeth stuck into, so looking forward to that one. We'll have the full coverage of every race on the card. I've mentioned the hat competition, and if you are interested in buying a share in a horse, we've secured one at the Magic Millions sale last weekend. Head to my Twitter page for more details or send me an email, tim@beforeyouBet.com.au if you're interested to hear more. They're going quickly, so if you are keen to get involved, do so soon. That rounds us out for this week. Thanks to betdeluxe.com.au for sponsoring this week's show. Serious betting for serious punters, and we'll be back to do it all again next week.